Welcome. Man, every time I see that opening video, Aaron, you put together some fun there. We had the NASCAR stuff in there. We had the air show stuff in there. Man, that was a different time. We got to do all kinds of cool stuff without anybody harassing us about wearing masks or anything, Good times, though. But welcome, everyone. As you can see here, we're joined by Preacher. We've got Big Sexy, Big Country over here. And we've got HONU from CPX Events. CPX Sports, CPX Events, same difference, Hey, so obviously we're going to be talking about some Living Legends stuff today. So we've got a prize winner for another MF road trip coming up to talk about. We've got lots of cool stuff going on at Legends, the change in venue, all that fun stuff. Yep, there you go. We're going to North Carolina, and we got Preacher as a brigade commander.
Make sure you guys join the blue side.
There you go. But anyways, let's start out with some other stuff real fast. As you guys know, we did a time trial. I did a time trial setup out at Hogan's Alley in Connecticut. Weather kind of sucked for setup. As you can tell by my help for the day, he looks totally soaked. Yes, we were for setup, but game day for the first initial run through, it was gorgeous out, and the setup went up very nice, and it is now a permanent fixture at Hogan's Alley in Connecticut. They've got themselves a nice little field there, so if you got to do a party or something or have some fun there, it's definitely a place to check out. Excuse me. Woo. So, we had a bunch of participants, and the top scorers got into Greg's game, too, which is going to be coming out soon. We'll be talking more about that as things go on. But, so we had this going on, and then we also had the big guy over here at look at him.
Boy. Goofy. Boy. Wild hog on field.
PlayStation versus Xbox at Fort Knox Paintball. Fort Knox, man, that's an awesome field. Honey, have you ever been to Fort Knox?
Oh yeah, lots of times,
dude. Every time you show up there, it's something new. I can't wait to see what happens this year. The next time we're out, we can see here from this picture, the big man himself getting the MVP award for the game. So that was a decent sized game too, from what I understand, from what I saw from the pictures and stuff.
I was told that it was their biggest pre-reg. I think there was like over 280 people. It was like their biggest game they ever had, they said.
Nice.
It was something. They had little missions here and there, like me, Hammerhead, and a couple of the infected guys had to play leapfrog from the spawn by the cars, leapfrog all the way to Orion.
Who was the game promoter? Was it Ricky, or was it? I think
it was Ricky.
It looked like Ricky.
Oh man!
And they had other missions like high five an enemy teammate while they're alive, give someone a hug. So they were stupid and gave me that mission. So I'm literally walking the field without a gun, just screaming, "Give Piggy a hug! Give little Lover a hug!" And people just like eyeball me and be like, "Nope," just light me up for no reason. And I had the ref followed me all the way around the field as I'm screaming, "Piggy, give me a hug!" And this person just casually walked by me. I swept his legs and just hugged him. I'm like, "Get this over with."
Actually, that little ref that you just showed there, that was Christy, one of the Mad Frog team members there, reffing at Fort Knox Paintball. Dun dun dun.
So a funny thing happened at the field. After lunch on the first day, game starts up, and suddenly there's a couple that walked the field because they were doing a wedding engagement at the church back at the old West Town. And they waited till game on was down there, and there was like an elderly lady like in her 80s, and she couldn't walk. So they were like walking her. So it's like people were trying not to shoot by her, but it's also like they were trying to shut the game down. Geez. It was like back and forth, like all kinds of stuff.
Oh boy, that's nuts. That's crazy, dumb, stupid
but all
stuff.
Around was a great time, good weekend.
Dude, it looked amazing, and that field's always great to play.
Next game I think we got coming up that we're going there is Marvel versus DC, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Definitely a fun one. Definitely a fun one. Anyways, guys, make sure you check out our Facebook page. Check out Fort Knox's Facebook page, CPX Sports, events, Living Legends, all that fun stuff. Check out our website, madfrogpaintball.com. Buy some stuff. Help support us filling up the bus and getting out to these events. All right, so then here's the heart of the matter, what I really want to talk about. We got anything else we want to touch base on before we dive into the game that is Living Legends, boys?
Cannonball.
Hey, Bill,
all
can
right,
you turn your mic down just a little bit?
Oh, okay. Well, here, what if I...
It's a little bit too high.
Sorry. Okay, you know me, I yell. Is that better? Is that any better?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
A lot better? Okay, I'm sorry. I get overexcited, especially when we start talking about legends. So, we've got Honu here because we want to talk about Living Legends. I guess the big gist of everything, let's get it over with. First to start out with is it is not at Legacy Paintball this year. Everyone that's going knows. If you don't know, hey, it's not at Legacy Paintball. We're switching it to Black Ops Paintball. Well, they've switched it to Black Ops Paintball in North Carolina. Obviously, because there's not as many restrictions involved with everything going on.
Yeah, Illinois is still, it's kind of hard to navigate their COVID restrictions right now. Certain things are open, certain things aren't, certain cities are open. And what falls under really weird for Legacy is all the way up to the gate is the city of Lockport. Once you step onto the property, it's actually the state of Illinois park district. So that's where we kind of got messed up. Lockport's more or less open, very inviting, was very much looking forward to having us all come back. The state, somebody somewhere in Springfield made a mark on his checklist and said, nope, no big events on any state property.
I mean, because they're still doing, like, if you guys wanted to go for a small game or whatnot, they're still doing their small games. They just they can't handle.
They're not allowed a private group. They can only do private groups of a certain size. But of course, because there's flaws
we're one hell of a private group.
There's flaws in all those rules. They never said how many private groups. There was no limit on private groups. The number per private group was 50. So. Yeah. You know, and we could have played around with that game and stuff like that, but it wasn't going to be worth it for somebody to show up and be like, shut it all down.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, I guess some people aren't going to be able to make it. But those that can, man, Black Ops. I mean, I'm wearing my hoodie.
It's a great field.
Right. Black Ops is a great field. A bunch of the guys were just there for Bones and Ashes. I've been there for what are we on now for Bones and Ashes? Is this 4 or is this 3?
4. Yeah.
4.
Wow.
Bones and Ashes 4, and we had 811 players.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was sweet.
Beat the living hell out of the air system, but we fixed that. So to give you an idea how crazy Nate is and how much Paulie likes to throw money at stuff also. We now have at Black Ops Paintball a better permanent air system than NXL uses.
Nice.
There's over 100 CFM or whatever you call that at the field permanently now at both ends. Nice. You can run the entire game from either end of the field.
Nice.
See, and that's awesome. That's one thing I like about Black Ops is the fact that there's two ends. Like you're not starting at the same exact, let's say side of the field. No, you're two opposite ends and there's air at both ends. So you don't, for instance, you start at the back of the field, you don't have to go all the way around to the front of the field to get air. And that's what it was amazing. And so like you said at Bones and Ashes, we started seeing an issue at the front of the field with the air, and then at the back of the field with air also. But come day 2, dude, in the back of the field, you were still getting 4,000 all day.
He went out and bought that's where he went out and bought that compressor in the middle of the night and had it installed while everybody slept. There was a brand new compressor. So he put that one out there, put another one the same size out there, and then just got the city or county or whatever to drop a 3-phase line for him so he could put 2 even bigger compressors up at the front end.
See, that's one
this
thing
place
I like
is
about
huge too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're not dealing with like a parking lot here. You're dealing with like a whole industrial complex.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a third of the field that we haven't even used yet because we haven't had the necessity for the bodies. But once the bodies are there, we're opening up that whole next section so that where the north base would be, the far end of the field near camping, that would actually end up in play. And we go back a full third length of the overall field further back up that road. And he dropped the conics back there already for me. It's already in place. So we can use it anytime we want. We're not doing it for Legends this year yet, but next year for Bones, depending on how the pre-reg falls into place, we may very well. I'm going to write 2 games. I'm going to write one from the close north base and one from the far north base, and then depending on what the pre-reg is, will dictate which game we're going to play.
all right, yeah. And speaking of camping too, the camping area that they've got out there is just huge as can be too. I mean, it's
they just expanded that and did work on that. Like,
Right.
So I'd been to Black Ops a couple of times before this year's Bones, and when I went out there this year, I was like, dude, the whole park, because at first the parking was kind of a mess a little bit if you were pulling in by the pro shop and everything. No, this year, like, they cleared out the whole like part of the field and made it. Dude, they got a gazebo out there in the parking area now and stuff.
Yep.
It's a really cool, awesome place to just hang out and stuff. So I think everybody that hasn't seen this yet or didn't make it out to Bones is going to be really surprised and excited with the stuff that they did. It's amazing, and I definitely can't wait for Living Legends 13. It's gonna be awesome.
yeah. We've got we haven't even talked about it yet, but we've got Michael Fisher, Blue Commander, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Versus is it Joe's or is it Joe? Okay, so Joe Perez from 13th Legionnaires.
13th had to do the 13th Living Legends. I mean, it just had to happen.
There you go.
I mean, there wasn't much about it. And that's the thing, like what you were saying about the field improvements, just to kind of go back to that, I just wanted to, Bill, you've been around forever with us with these. You've seen us
You see some of the jerseys in the background here. I've got
amazing events, and also you've also seen the one thing that I think we do. It's the one thing that I'll brag about our games. Most of the time, I just let the players say the stuff, and then whatever it is, good or bad. But you'll notice we never have the same mistake or problem twice, ever. One year we had really lousy registration. We fixed it. There was just no way. We had bad chrono. One year we had not enough porta johns. The bad air thing, like the parking. We're gonna have. I'm paying 10 different guys to be at the front or the back of the field for the entire weekend to just park cars, to just literally like a concert. You're gonna have the little orange flag guy waving you to the one guy at the end who's gonna just badger you to get just another 6 inch closer to that next car. And, just those little things, but they all add up, to the overall experience for everybody. And that's the goal, is for everybody to have the Disneyland of paintball kind of weekend when they come.
Yeah, I was trying to think of that the other day. I was trying to think of the games, all the games that I've been to that, CPX has done. And then I'm like, how many damn games have I commanded? If not just the general is like an XO too.
Right.
I mean, it's been a lot. We've been all over the place. I mean, I guess I think that was Dead Legends 2.
Yeah, you and I did the coast to coast thing. You came out there in my game, and then we went together, and you came to play for me in
played
Georgia.
For you in Georgia. Yeah, I've still got that. Dill, maybe that'll be the next USB drive I send you worth of video. It needs to see the light of the day. That's 7,000 miles worth of road trip for paintball, and Disney World and Disneyland too, but whatever.
I mean, we've done some pretty crazy trips. You and I went snorkeling together in Maui,
dude. Yeah,
we had some pretty crazy adventures, all just kind of related to we're at a paintball event.
yeah. It's just in that, and that's kind of part of the fun that I think that makes a lot of our trips and stuff eventful. Ooh, the Whirligig Park. That's right.
Nice.
This is something we can check out on the way to Black Ops, guys. If you don't know what a whirligig is, it's just some goofy fan windmill, decorative, fun little, I don't know, diversion from whatever. But yeah, it's one of the things we can check out on the way to Legends this year. But just all the different stuff that we can do, and I like the road trips because we get in the bus or the van and we just take off and stop wherever we want. Speaking of which, maybe a good segue right here. Dun dun dun. Another MF road trip. So we hooked up with CPX and everybody here, and we were able to offer a free entry, a case of paint and air for Legends this year. And if you were along the route, or if we can figure out a spot to pick you up, take a ride in the bus, and we'll bring you along in the bus. Let's see. Who was the winner again, Aaron? We just Thomas Ventura. There you go. Nice. So
congratulations, bro.
Yep, I will get in contact with you and let you know. We got Worm here. I hope.
Nah, if it was you, Worm, they'd shave your eyebrows while you slept. I'm just telling you. That would happen. It'd be done out of love, but they'd be gone.
He made it to Avid, all right.
Well, yeah, you set him up with one trip where really nothing bad happens to him. So, lull him into a little sense of, security.
Yeah, we've got actually some of those videos are going to be making it out here. The Tombstone videos, Aaron's been popping together left and right because he's finally gotten the media from somebody. I don't know.
That's a fun field too.
Yeah. Avid is some fun. That was some fun there. That was the last Tombstone I'd see sacrifice his eyebrow. That'll be the last Tombstone that Viper does at Avid for now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I think he's moving it to TXR. I'm not positive.
Something like that. The following week, it's going to be the Avid game, and then Tombstone.
Yep. Yeah. So, but that was a fun game. There'll be a bunch of video shorts and stuff coming up soon on our webpage and stuff about that. But yeah, Legends to me has always been one of those games. I mean, we'll never have another CPX. That field just had a certain thing about it, just the way that game felt, but then that was because of memory, repetitiveness. I mean, we had done it how many years there?
Right.
Well, that I had done it at least. I mean, I think I went 5 times. I've been 5 times at CPX to the Living Legend event. Right. And then now all the ones we do all over the place. I mean, come on. You've got the 2-parter coming up here, Dead Legends.
That was something I kind of checked around a little bit, and at least from the people that I've talked to, nobody had ever actually done a full on. It's a 2-part game. You don't win at the end of the first game. Like there was ones where you won that one, and then somebody could win the other one, and depending on what the score was, blah blah blah. This legit is a 2-part. You we're going to do the game. The score is going to be tallied at the end of the game, and we're simply going to say who's ahead. That's it. And then you got to go about 60 days later, travel to California and play the second half, and also having the same exact command teams working both games to have that continuation of it. We're going to put a special package together on the website. I'm not exactly sure what the numbers are going to be on it, but basically we're going to make it super convenient for you to lock into both, to sign up for one, and you're going to get the other one for a song. If you sign up for both and buy that package, we're going to make it as convenient for you to come to both so you can be part of this thing, because it's just cooler if you can. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you're going to do something kind of funky like this, and like nobody can go to both games other than the Commanders, that's no fun. So we got to make sure that we can get as many players that can travel, because of how much more fun it'll be for everybody to create that memory.
Yeah, and then the second game's at Giant, correct?
Giant in I think it's actually called Lakeside, but it's technically San Diego.
Very gorgeous area. Area.
That's the cool thing about you, Hano, and about CPX is you guys are always looking out for the players. Like for instance, Black Ops, there was that issue. Mm-hmm. You guys worked overnight. It was fixed. Black Ops actually, because we had such an awesome turnout at Bones and Ashes, they ran out of paint, right? We went through, what, 17, 18 skids of paint, was it?
I had 12 of my skids, and then I took another, I think, 6 of theirs.
Yeah. And so there was, a slight issue with the one skid or whatever. Hanu's like, bring it up here. Let's change that out.
One.
Boom, go.
I'll eat that skid. Get another one out here.
Yeah, it was, awesome. And now here it is. He's got all these different events, and again, with Legends being canceled last year, he took care of everybody. And what was the incentive this year? Like, you got a case of paint to make up for the stuff from last year, and there's just
there's nothing to do, and it's not your fault, man. It's not your fault whatsoever, and you're still paying it forward.
But it's. I'm still a player. I don't get to play as much as I'd like to, but I started out as a player. I got where I am because of Living Legends. I'm the only person in the history of paintball to hit every Legends game. I've physically been at every one. Now, partly because of my job, but I was at the first one all the way through. And I've watched it grow and develop, and it matters to me because it matters to you guys. And I get to see your faces, like getting on this, what I always say, this side of the fence, because like I'm on the business side of it now. It's so much more different to view and how I look at the game. Like when I played, I wanted my points. I wanted the other side's points. I didn't care if the other side was having a fun time. I wanted to win. Yeah. Now on this side of it, it's all I can focus on. I want both sides, whether they win or lose, to come off. And I want them, I always refer to it as the Disneyland experience. I want you to come off the field and be like, worth it. Absolutely worth it. Oh my God, that was incredible. Best idea, best decision I ever made this whole year was coming here. And I want that at the end of every one of my games. And I have to give that to you to the best of my ability. I just have to.
Well, brother, you're doing a great job. That's for sure, man.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I'm a little sad that I didn't get a chance to go out to the original CPX. Every time, I was set to go, something had come up and derailed it. There was like 4 years in a row. I was so mad. And then it came to Hell Survivors, and it was like, boom, I'm able to make it. Yes, dude. And it was just an amazing event. You guys did an awesome job, and I've been coming ever since. So, dude, it's awesome. So I would recommend.
Had dinner with Dave just this week, actually. Dave
I saw that photo. I saw that photo. You guys down there enjoying the Florida sun.
Yeah, he's like, dude, we got to do dinner. I can't believe we've been down here and we haven't run into each other yet. So we went out to dinner, had a great time, and Dave and Kelly are just a riot and such nice people. So we had such a good time.
I was telling my son when we were down there a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, hey, Hanu's down here, right? He's like, he is? I'm like, yeah.
I got a message last night. You guys will love this. This is how paintball works better than anything else. We have friends of ours that are out in Arizona that went from California to Arizona to go to a tattoo convention. Just random. They're going through, looking at a guy's thing. It's some of the clowns, some of the psycho clowns. So they got, everywhere they go, they wear their jerseys because that starts a conversation about paintball. And so they're going around, and out of the hundreds of guys in this convention that are doing tattoos, they look through this guy's book and like, yep, you're the guy I want to do mine. So as he's getting his tattoo, they just start bullshitting, and the tattoo guy's like, all right, lay it on me. What's the deal with the polka dot yellow jersey? Like, what's going on here? He's like, oh, we play paintball, and we wear these because it starts the thing. He's like, oh, I got a buddy that plays paintball. Do you know who Honu is? Out of the blue, randomly, it's like this one dude I know named Pat Tat, who is a friend of a friend, tattoo artist from Texas. Like, I met him one time, and they actually, paintballers that we know, all hooked up with this guy randomly. I'm like, what are the odds? So I wake up this morning, and my phone is just blasted full of every clown, I think, messaged me to let me know that they met my tattoo friend in Arizona. Or, hey, did you hear the clown that met, and I was cracking up.
That's so cool.
Fun stuff. The first part of Dead Legends is at their
Giant,
new field,
Texas.
Giant, Texas. That's it was an existing field though, wasn't it?
It was an existing field called the Fort.
Okay.
And then Geo came in and went full Geo on it.
Yep.
And So immediately came in and just took something. It was a nice field. I mean, it was not spectacular, and they knew that they had a budget that they could work with. And then Gio came in and went, pow, here's a stack of cash. Let's take everything to the next level. And it's fantastic. We went there and did like an opening weekend, like a little soft opening, just kind of to show the people kind of the field, let people get introduced to it. And I think you guys are going to like it. It's going to have a unique feature that no other field that I've played at yet does. It's open in a sense that, you know, if you get up high enough, you can see from one end to the other. So we decided, let's use that to the advantage and make it cool. So we are double stacking Connex boxes, and the upper Connex is going to be the command post, and there's going to be an opposite one on the other on the other end of the field, like soccer goalies. So you guys will be up, the commanders will be on the second floor, being able to oversee the whole field and actually see their radio chess moves in real time moving on the field.
That'd be bad.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting way to have them command the game because they're going to get to see it in real time from an elevated position and how that, you know, plays out on the field and helps them make their decisions. It ought to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be really sweet. Like I'm watching it like it's going through my head right now, and I'm like, ooh, dude, I like this. Like, you could be like, oh, dude, I see my left is falling. Let's get more people up there.
Some good binoculars. You get some couple people up there with binoculars shouting messages back and forth, man. Yeah. You can. It's just as it's the original radio communication. You know, you just person to person with magnify or with binoculars. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's the game I get to play versus the players, because every time I put missions out there that I'm like, there's just no way. There's no way they're going to do this, but that's not my job to give them missions that are easy to do. I'm supposed to give you something hard and challenge yourself. And then the problem is you guys keep rising to the challenge. So that,
speaking of that,
wait a minute, you're back already? Wait a minute, how did you?
It's like one of those
putting handcuffs on somebody to a bomb,
and then all of a sudden they come back and it's done. I'm like, well, crap. All right, well, next game I'm going to have to do something harder. And it's funny because it helps keeps me like constantly updating what I'm doing because I sort of want to win. I want you guys to come back and be like, are you nuts?
He's got that little devil on his shoulders that's laughing every time we fail the mission. He's like, they didn't get it this time.
Well, see, now that's the hard part when you're writing them. That's actually the hardest part of it is when I write them, I have to remember I don't care if you get it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not supposed to be like, oh yeah, just go right there and get it. Okay, they can do that. Well, that's not what they're looking for. They want the one, you know, Bill, you were there for the Rose, 3D puzzle Rose.
Yeah.
You completed the mission. Got the points with 15 seconds left or whatever it was. Tell me that was not the emotional roller coaster after the fact that you were looking for.
I was playing security, just keeping the people away from everybody that was doing the puzzle. It was nuts. Mary, actually, I think it was Mary who was on that puzzle so hard. Her and, who else was it? But, I mean, it was just like, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
But that's the goal. The goal is to get you have this emotional moments of there's just no way. And then how epic it feels when you complete something that on paper you're like, there's just no way. Well, I know, but you got to go try. So just go try. And then all of a sudden you somehow find a way to do it. That's a feeling that you can't replace.
Hey, I know that all too well. It happened to me at Bones and Ashes.
Yeah.
He gives us this Mission Impossible. Go get this code for this bomb that our general's attached to. And
that was, yeah. That's
I make
interesting.
it out there. I make it out to the one point. I get this piece of paper and it says, oh, you got to go clear across the field to a whole nother spot. And I get over there and I'm like, yes, I got 5 minutes to go. And the ref is surrounded by the red team. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And so like, I'm kind of moseying around. Finally, the ref looks over and I'm like, hey, look, I need you. I get the code. I radio the code back like, yes, accomplished. Nope. we was like a second too late or something silly, and I'm like, Honu, dang you!
Yeah, there's like 10 seconds left, and he's like, well, I'm not gonna just die here and just let a timer run out. So he pulled. You have the choice of punching in a code, which will tell you shut it down, or you can pull the right fuse out of 5. Nobody's pulled the right fuse yet.
The first time you brought that out, you locked Joe up to it, and it's on this table.
A little bit of a fib.
Yeah, I've got the table all set up. You know, one of our tables in the command post and stuff, and Joe's locked to it. It's on the table. We're all talking, and here comes Baby and Shelly. And Hanu's all like, oh, yeah, well, don't bump it. Stay still. It's got a shock sensor in it. And then sure as hell, here comes Baby and Shelly. And Baby comes running right under the table, right at me. And we're all like, everybody's like, no. And she's just like, huh? It was.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell did I do?
It was hilarious, you know. And then did Joe blow up? I think Joe blew up too.
Yeah, he blew up too.
Well, and there was the helpful 10-year-old too, who was right on the corner of the table, kept trying to reach in, and like, they were all just sure. I sold that there was a gyroscope in there. There was no gyroscope, but I sold it to you guys so well.
Oh yeah,
absolutely in full. Like anytime anybody got near the table, and the best part is you guys all kept it quiet, so I could do it again the next day to those guys, and they fell for the gyroscope thing too.
Yeah, they blew up too.
Yeah.
Did both commanders blow up this year also?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the ones that I try to make as hard as possible on the idea that either you've done something extraordinary to get the code, or you got that 1 in 5 chance. I mean, the minute I lock it to it, you can just choose to start pulling fuses and hope for the best. One will save you. You got a 1 in 5 chance. You know, it's not a great chance, but 1 in 5. So the idea is for it to get down to that last minute or two and have the person that's handcuffed to it being like, all right, I am not going to just sit here and watch this go to 0 and just explode. I have to do something. And so it's played out the way we want it. The funny thing is we tried it for the first 2 years to make it a mission out on the field. And the problem is nobody ever got to it. So for the first 2 years, it was on the field as a mission, and nobody was ever able to start the mission, get to it, and start it. So I'm like, all right, well, this is such a cool prop, and I'm over this trying to force them on the field. I'm just going to walk up. I'm going to tell them they got to be at their base. I'm just going to walk up and handcuff them.
Yep, definitely. So we got the normal-ish Legends schedule, I'm thinking here. We got, Thursday camping opens?
Thursday camping opens, and there'll be a couple hours in the afternoon that you'll be able to come check in and sign up. Obviously, even though they've done all that stuff with the air system, we're still going to encourage people to fill up early, fill up often, get topped off. That way you're not there game day morning trying to do it.
Friday in line, because there's a line. There's always a line. If you think there's not going to be a line, there's going to be a line, just because there's enough people. That's the only thing. There's going to be a line because there's enough people. It's
100%. You're going to be able to make big sweeping movements at Legends. That's one of the fun things you can do there is you can send 300 people on a mission because you have the bodies to work with.
It's it was the final battlefield for a little bit. Is that going to be the same final battlefield this year?
You weren't there this year. So if you keep that picture up, what's at the top of the picture there, away from the road, they actually knocked a bunch of those trees down and built more of it further out that way. They widened the field.
They put in more cement, those cement cylinders and stuff.
Yeah, they filled it in and widened it.
Yeah, it's a fun field to play. I mean, I think I've got on my personal YouTube channel, I've got a video of it. I shot from my cell phone. It turned out awesome. But yeah, during final battle. So it's a great place to play. Friday we'll have obviously we'll have camping and registration open.
Yep. Got vendors all be open. We've got a bunch of them coming. Charles Dean's coming. We've got social Deadbox. I believe we're going to have a GI Die NPE Tech. I've got in case it is warm, I got a guy bringing in like Hawaiian shave ice truck. So people can cool off with that. Because as silly as it sounds, that simple little treat really can make or break your day when it's hot.
I know where I'm living this weekend.
I am actively working on getting the exact same brand hot beef sandwiches to the game that Living Legends is known for with the Jardinera, those epic $5 football sandwiches.
You're
I'm working
trying
on
to
that
keep me
right
in a
now.
food coma this weekend.
They don't sell it locally, so I'm actually getting it shipped down in coolers to the game. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm working on that. It's not done yet, but I'm working on it.
Again, see the effort going into this game, guys. If you're not pre-reg for this game, blue, by the way, if you're not pre-reg from this game, you are going to be missing out. All right. Again, hit up the blue side. We'll appreciate it very much. And I promise you'll have a great time. But look at all this work put into this game. So you know it's going to be epic. Be there.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
We're gonna have, sorry. Go ahead.
We got what else? Yeah, you were just saying
we're gonna have our mini games. Yeah, we're gonna have our mini games. What we're gonna do this year to make sure that it's a little bit more streamlined for everybody. We put that information right in the schedule, which is going to come out on Tuesday. But it's going to tell you where to meet about a half an hour before the game are going to start. We're going to combine, at least to start with. There's going to be open play meeting at one area, and then there's going to be mech, MagFed, and pump all combined to start with. If there's enough to break them into separate games, we will. It all depends on the turnout. Enough players come and turn out that they can have separate games for each one, we'll break it out. If not, those 3 games are all some form of chosen hindrance over a regular paintball gun with a big hopper and, space gun. So you each have your own thing. The MagFed, the pump, and the mech all kind of can gel together and still be, a pretty good game together. So they're going to meet somewhere else on the field, and then we're going to try them out at the final battlefield, the city field, the pipes field up front that everybody likes so much, and so on like that, and let them kind of move around like that.
This is Friday?
This is Friday. That'll be all afternoon, so people will be able to walk the field with no mask up until about 2 o'clock. And then from 2 o'clock on, you can still walk the field. You just need a mask with you. If nobody's near you shooting, you don't have to have it on. You start getting close to the gunfire, put your mask on. Then we're going to do the Hall of Fame induction, and we've got 2 classes that we're putting in because we had to postpone last year, but we can't take them away, nor do we want to not have a class for this year and make that postponed. We want to make sure we honor all these players and industry people. So we're going to do that right there in the main building up on stage and in that big party room. And then right after that is the player party with the beer pong tournament held by the Mad Frog. And there it is.
These are some test prints for the championship belts.
That's the thing. People love that part.
Yeah, so we've got some nice belts that we're going to be having out there. And then the volleyball, man.
Oh, dodgeball, not volleyball.
Dodgeball. I'm sorry.
Red rubber ball dodgeball, man.
Look at this.
He can attest. It is the ones that make that lovely ping sound when it hits you in the face.
Oh, the nice little red circle on your face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of tread mark on them, too. Yeah, it's fantastic.
They try to call them no sting now, but they sting.
They sting.
Depends on how hard you throw it.
Yeah, well, if you say it enough times, it's true, right? No sting, no sting.
Yeah, it's just like paintball. It don't hurt. It don't.
Right. Well, and that whole thing started from my refs. My refs were sitting there. Somebody put up that meme. I don't know if you've seen it before. It's like in certain people's hands, this is as dangerous as a 22 rifle. And somebody's like, man, could you imagine doing this at a game? And, it kind of started out on the field. And, of course, I'm like, well, we can't do that. We knock masks off. We can't do that. I'm like, but, we got this nice little arena speedball field. And at Black Ops, it's right up where the party's going to be. We can turn the lights on and do it at night. And we can just kind of go full ham out there while having a nice adult beverage of your choice and just go for it. And I swear, guys, we're more excited about that than the game. But that's awesome.
Dude, I got out there at Black Ops and I went to chuck that ball, and it was on the turf, so it was a little wet. man, I ate it like none other. And Zach's like, hey, I got that picture, preacher. Like, oh, I bet you do, dude. I slipped and fell. But it was, oh gosh, such a great time, man. There were so many people out there. So again, make sure you guys come to this game.
Yep. You're gonna enjoy it.
Definitely looking forward to it. I'm getting jealous here. It's getting brighter behind HONU again.
Oh yeah,
Man.
it's only 91.
Only.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
pretty warm. Lonnie and I got sunburned. We went to Key West yesterday, so
Actually, that's something I'm noticing about myself right now. Is I just shaved my head and I'm noticing the glare, and I'm like, man, I'm going out. I'm heading out to Super Game. Basically, I
Right.
haven't packed a damn thing, and I'm supposed to leave in the morning. I mean, I haven't packed anything. Shelly's already. I haven't gotten anything packed yet. And the first time I went out to Super Game, Aaron went out with us from Aaron Dill Media. And he's got video of me playing in these woods. It's like the forest of Endor. The roots are just huge out of the ground, and these trees are just like, it takes 6 big countries to give it a hug. Just wrapping around it. They're huge, dude.
That's a lot of country there.
You got me playing, and then he's backing off, and then you look at me, and it's like, holy crap, look at that freaking ghost in the woods. I was so bright white. I was hoping I wasn't going to be this time, but I think I'm probably going to be bright white again.
That's all right. It'll be easier to find you.
Yeah. Luckily enough, I'm playing with the Renegades and the Hitmen and stuff, so I'll be putting some paint on people. It's a little different of a game for me this time. It's just like there, go there, shoot there. Half the time we get to one side of the field and they're like, oh yeah, turn around. They're winning now. Play the other way.
Right?
It can be some fun. Definitely some fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I haven't been out to Black Ops. It's been a while. I think the last time I was out there was for Operation Homefront. I didn't make the last Bones and Ashes.
they had a really cool vendor out there this last time that it was like a military surplus store.
Yep.
Who's that?
Honestly, I don't know their name, but I do believe they're coming back. They're friends of Nate's, the owner, so I believe they'll be back.
So, like, and dude, they got everything you need, like boots, socks, packs, helmets, patches, everything. Yep. Like they had it. It's huge.
Yep. We even have a couple things that Nate did to the field that I'm not going to tell you guys. You're going to have to go discover them. The field is not exactly how you saw it last time.
Oh man!
Just at Bones and Ashes, there's been some additions added to the playing field that you will discover along the process. Nate just keeps sending me pictures of construction equipment and giggles, and you'll see. And I purposely left it off the mat this year so people have to go discover them.
All right. Well, we and the MF Bus project should be pulling in sometime Thursday evening, I believe, if not early as hell Friday, because it's actually going to be the maiden driving voyage for a couple of members of the team. They've literally the only ones that have driven the bus is myself, Shelly, and not Taco, Shelly's cousin, Dave. Shithouse has done a little drive around the parking lot at the local, Lowe's over here. He wasn't bad, but Preacher hasn't really driven it yet. So Preacher and Shithouse are going to get their first highway time. It's the only way it's going to work, because we're going to have enough of us in the bus. If we don't, other than that, we're going to have to pull over and we're going to have to take a break at like a hotel or something, because not everybody's going to sleep on top of everybody. Like,
I got to say, you see that green bus moving, get out the way.
Look at the brakes.
He's got the engine, is in great shape. The brakes, yeah.
Oh, no, actually, that's the first thing that went down on me was the brakes. So the brakes are probably the only thing that's great on the damn thing. Hell, I took it my first trip to Tombstone with the boys from Bob White. I blew out a brake caliper. Blew the whole brake caliper out, just slamming on the brakes, and ended up taking a pair of vice grips and some rubber hose and some zip ties, and I just pinched that damn thing closed, and I got us to the event, and I got us back home from Avid.
Did I see that the golf cart got a fresh coat of love?
Yeah, it's got some nice green on it now. It's got to get the
Looking
black.
really sharp.
Yeah, the black's got to get cleaned up, so that's got to get done. There you go.
All
There's some nice 2 coats on it. I got to get some.
Don't do it justice.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Jimmy did a great job.
The seat, though, the problem is like the seat. I'm looking black. I think I want to go black, but then that's just going to burn like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
In the sun. So I'm going to have to try to find some type of fabric, dark fabric, because it's not going to go white again. That white just doesn't look right. And then the chopper got some care again. That got put back together, net repaired and replaced, and a little PVC repair.
To the chopper.
Nice. What are the tank rules? We got walking tanks and we got driving tanks this year. Anybody register tanks yet?
Not any driving tanks yet. We have walking tanks. We've been leaning heavily towards that because of our insurance doesn't cover it.
It makes it, it's a difference. It is.
Yeah, and so what we do again, we try to change the rules to make it if we're going to do walking tanks, how can we make it cooler? So you can use our tanks as bunkers now, as long as it's not motorized. You can be right up on it and use it as a bunker and as a mobile bunker. It doesn't have to be stopped. You can, if the tank has enough space, you are inside the tank. You can't get shot with a paintball. You are actually a transport then. And you can transport, and only if they take the tank out by tank rules do you get destroyed. So it's another option for commanders to work with to get them out there. And people have been having pretty fun. One guy made a tank that looked like a big alligator at the last one. There was the short bus, which they put the effort of even making the little fold-out stop sign, when they would stop, which was kind of fun, painted it yellow. And what we do with the tank rules is first grenade hit, the first launcher hit, pauses them, but they can still fight. They just can't move. And they've got to sit stationary for 5 minutes, but they can still fight. Anybody that's inside is trapped inside. So if you were transporting a mission, they're stuck inside for that 5-minute time period. If that tank gets hit again in 5 minutes, within that 5-minute period, then they're eliminated. If not, the tank has been repaired and it can go right back into the fight. So you got to be kind of clever about how you want to deal with tanks. And we also limit the amount of rocket shots you get, which you've experienced at our games before. Yeah. So you have to be pretty judicious about what you do with your tanks. You can't just go out there and just start thinking you're just going to blow them up all the time with AT, because you're going to run out of shots.
Yeah. Now, what about the Grand Theft Auto style? Can that happen with the tanks again? Or?
Well, no. That wasn't supposed to happen the first time. But the best part of the kind of players that we have at our game, and they understand kind of what we're going for, even the side that left their tank, that was a mistake. You can't just leave your tank on the field. You got to take it off with you. Well, the other side commandeering it and using it, it really didn't change anything in the game. The team that lost the tank, got their tank basically taken, thought it was funny. And since it didn't really change any scoring or anything like that, we just kind of let it go for the humor value of it. Why not have fun with it? Just like when they crossed over the bridge with the tank. And they're like, well, tanks can't go over bridges. I'm like, well, they're 3/4 of the way across the bridge. I say they can. I'm looking at it. They're 3/4 of the way across. Looks like they can take a tank over the bridge. No one said, the bridge is the size it is. Can you get the tank over it? Yeah, we did. Okay, then you got over. We also had
lifted it up and put it over.
Yeah, we had the very first tank tag in paintball history at the game between a Char member who is the immovable object because he had his foot against the base, so he was invincible more or less, and the tank just hammered him, trying to pain quit him, and Rusty saying, "I ain't leaving," and got all the way to the point where he just walked up to him ever so gently and just kind of touched him with the end of the tag, and the ref's like, "Tank tag, you're out." And Rusty's like, "Is that a thing?" He goes, "It is now." We reserved the right to change the rule because I can't have you guys keep doing this, so there had to be a solution, and that's a pretty funny one. Definitely. And the tank got an award for it, and Rusty got an award for it. So it was, in general, everybody had the whole idea is we're supposed to be having fun. If I'm over there, I want my rule book to be the single page of paper that I read it off of, as opposed to certain games you get there, and through the years,
subsection 6 of Article 5 of Sub Rule 3.
Yeah.
But that's only because of people like us.
If
Yeah,
there's
I
a
love
rule,
a good
rule,
rule.
it did something.
Yeah. You guys all know too, one of the greatest compliments you can get from a field producer or a game is for them to change a rule because of something you did the year before. And it wasn't illegal when you did it, but it was definitely not what they were looking for. And so the following year they change a rule. And we like that too. You know, we're big fans of that too. But I leave gray areas. If you read my rules, there's lots of room for interpretation. And it's on purpose. You know, I try to keep some of that old school scenario flair. I mean, I always call my games are big games more than really a scenario game. But I try to keep a little that scenario, on the edges. And I love when guys come up with more creative ways to do things. Like you going around big sexy and just like, somebody give me a hug. Like you can do this 1,000 different ways. You can try to fight your way in to do something, or you can just be like, dude, seriously, come give me some love.
It's CJ with the bubble machine out in the middle of final battle, just blowing huge ass bubbles, just cuz.
Yeah,
that's what I did last year with Char.
Legends.
Oh, jeez, the stick gun.
Right. Like
with
have fun.
Bones and Ashes, Char has a mission that is all their own, right? They're supposed to be protecting the green ore and whatever.
Yeah, they're the third faction in the Bones and Ashes.
So last year, I'm like, forget it. I said, I'll just go in as friendly. You got to play that mission role, you know? And we ended up playing cards for green ore. If I won, I got green ore. If I lost, I had to give back green ore. And
they
then
had
I was
a direct mission to only engage if engaged.
Yeah.
They literally were sitting near an objective to be the, oh shit, there's the Char. And then you determine what that means to you. And the one side just showed up, saw him, and just started immediately hammering on him. Okay, well, then I guess we're fighting. The other one just kind of, they're not,
guys,
seemingly shooting at us, and we're supposed to hold the objective, and they're all around it, but they don't seem too interested in us at the moment, so they just kind of, hi, and, sat there and did their take and hold, and they got the mission because they never shot at the Char, so the Char didn't shoot at them.
Yeah, we're friendly. We all got the same goal.
Oh boy, I hope this doesn't work. I hope I'm not walking in closer, make it easier for them to hit me.
Then you get all the radio calls back to command. It's like, they're not going out. They're not going out. I'm like, can you see their foot? No, he's got it in the doorway. I'm like, he's touching their cone. He's invincible. Just take it.
Yep.
That's the cool thing about these games, that you put on Honu. There's always some cool aspect to it that you're like, oh, that's a good one. I like that. All right.
There's a lot of us too that have been playing these. There's a good family. There's good groups of people that have been coming back to these over and over again, which really makes the fun, the hangout, the party, whatever outside of the paintball. It makes it good. It's good people.
And that's the whole idea. I mean, you see I'll hashtag our stuff with like best player family in the world. I'm not, sucking up to the players. That's not what I'm doing. That's how I feel about it. You guys have a certain level of ownership in this. You helped create this. And there's things like the player party is 100%, Ryan does a version, like everybody does a version of it now, but it literally started with like Connor and a couple guys having an argument, like American versus Canadian microbrew.
Can't drink a lot, man.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
If something as dumb as a couple guys around a picnic table, I'm going to bring some beer from where I live, you bring some where you live, and we just kind of talk about it too. There's a couple hundred players playing beer pong and drinking and carrying on and socializing with players from all over the world in some cases, and just having these moments. And that's the big part of it. And what I also find out is stuff that we do when we're out at other games and play that people have fun with. I try to incorporate that in the game. The idea of the Char not being attacking you, actually, Bill, when you and I, when we were with the Renegades at the last Monster game, and I was playing for, not the Renegades, the Mercenaries.
Yep.
And there was the thing of where they dropped us in on the truck and those guys were kind of following us So as we got up around the hill, I kind of started heading back down the hill towards these two guys, and they're like, "What color are you?" And so I played like the old guy. I'm like, "What? I can't hear you." And so they stepped into the road a little further and a little closer. They're like, "What color are you?" And they kind of got their guns up. I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I can't hear you." And they step a little closer, a little further, and they drop their guns. He's like, "I said, what color are you?" "Not yours." Boom. And we hit him. And it was great and fun moment. And this guy sitting next to me is like, "Dude, that was just cold. That was just so cold." And so I'm like, that was fun. Let's put that in the game. Let's actually set up that moment for a possibility in the game. When it came to the char, are they your friend? Are they not your friend? I guess you're going to go find out. And how brave are you? Because you're going to have to walk up to them to complete your mission, and they're all just standing there, and they're willing to throw a ton of paint at you. But
because they want the fight. They want the fight, essentially.
They love it. They're all messed up in the head. When I tell them the first year what I wanted them to do, they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You're nuts." But okay, if you're willing, And it's funny, we have a waiting list. Like the MDP guys do it, which is fantastic. But I've got a waiting list of guys that, if MDP ever decides they don't want to do it, that are like, "We want to be the at Bones and Ashes. We want to do it." And, someday that, if the MDP ever decides that this is not their thing or whatever, then we'll start, kind of cycling through some teams and letting them try it.
Cool. So what's the big, what's CPX schedule? So next up is Living Legends, and then what's after Legends?
Then we go to Myrtle Beach for Dreaded Legends. Which is always fun. It's we for years have always looked for these massive fields and stuff like that. So we decided to mix it up a little bit. And Nate kind of mentioned he had a field there. I went and looked at it. I'm like, you know what we can do? We can put all these people in a little tiny box and let them beat the hell out of each other for 2 days.
I was wondering how it was good. That first game, man, that first Dreaded Legends, I was part of Mary's crew. And it was like, how's this going to go? It went really well. It really played well.
Yeah. And it gave me the opportunity to write a game that I've never been able to write before. I had to, instead of having this massive playing field to use, I have 13 acres of playable space, and it's even sort of hallway shaped. So how can we put that into a thing? And basically it turns into I don't have to walk far, 2-day final battle with missions. And it seems to be one of our more popular games based on the players. They come off, they're like, this is just the most intense game ever. Like there's no lulls, there's no walking into it. As soon as you walk on the field, you are basically in some level in the fight.
Yeah.
And we play Battleship now there too. That we're bringing that back this year. It was very popular last year, so we're gonna do that again.
All right.
You win shots by completing missions, and you actually play Sink the Armada Battleship style, and we put the posters out of the command tent so that the players can follow along on that as the game goes on.
I like that. That's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just a silly idea, and people loved it, so we're going to do it again.
All right. And then after Dreaded, what do we got going on?
After Dreaded, we take a little break there in the middle of the summer when it's really hot and everybody else has their main games like Ion and Monster Game and so on, and we more or less, out of respect, just stay out of the way. To be honest, we just look, these are 20-year established games. So we stay out of the way. And then the next one that comes up will be Endless in October. It's the second week of October. That's my personal favorite game to design because it's all based on like the Da Vinci Code, National Treasure. It's all about puzzles, ciphers. Nothing's easy. There is no.
That was the Rose. That was the Rose puzzle. That game?
That's the Rose puzzle. Yeah. There's off-field physical challenges like the water relay. And then we always try to have like a silly one. One year we had pogo stick races. Last year we had hippity hops, adult size hippity hop races. And that's again if you're not getting this, if you walk up and see us about to start a hippity hop race, you're like, this is dumb. It's probably not the game for you. You know what I mean? My games are probably not the game for you. But when you hear adult hippity hop and you're like, yes, I'm in. Now you're my guy. You're my type of player. You're getting what we're going for here. And last time we did it, we had Teddy, who is on today, Teddy Bear, and Lauren Panda, who wears a panda outfit. So we had bear on bear action to start the race. And it was fantastic. I'm like, it kind of like when we had the Powerball for Legends at one time. In my mind, I'm like, there's a video shot. There's a picture I need. And I'm like, I need to see the two bears in mid bounce on these hippity hops. And somebody got a great picture of that from last year. It was fantastic.
Now, that game was generaled by Young Guns too last year, wasn't it?
Yep.
Which
that
was
was the first time in Legends history. Like we did Dreaded where you were Frog. We had that was the first time we did 2 female commanders, legit top of the line commanders, and not like celebrity thing. They were running their show. And then we did that for Endless last year. Is we had 2 kid commanders, and we were very particular about who was going to be their XOs because I wanted them to look. The kid's making the call. You can give advice, you can coach them up, but in the end, you got to make that kid make that call because that's how we're going to groom this next, level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that comes from being a player too. We've been at those games where there's a celebrity, whoever you want to call it, celebrity X is you have some like say Speedball pro player is the commander. And then you got somebody like Frog there actually running the whole thing. And at the end, the celebrity guy is the one that gets to hold the trophy up. And if Frog's lucky, he gets to be in the picture. And like
I hated that sword. I got a really nice sword. I'll just tell you, it's really nice.
But for me, that always bothered me that I didn't want that when I did it. If you're the one doing the heavy lifting, you're the one that's got it all on the line. I know what goes into commanding these games. They're not like you say yes, and then the weekend before you decide to kind of look into it. There's prep time, there's effort, there's thought process, there's game planning. You're contributing part of your life to make sure that all the people that come to this game, you're part of my side.
Waking up in the middle of the night and remembering you forgot to call somebody. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you guys get that responsibility of helping us throw this great event because your attitude, your vibe, your preparedness is win or lose affects the game, affects people's weekend and how they have it. We've watched many a game where somebody has lost the game and lost bad. I mean, they got worked. But the players had a fantastic time, and that's okay then. It's another thing when, the commander's not prepared, he's not trying, and doesn't care. That bleeds off, and it just sucks the energy out of that side, and nobody enjoys that. And so that's one of the things we love doing. That's why we do those little hookups when you command for us that you get for life, and that's it. You helped us, we help you.
That's really cool too.
It's good stuff. Definitely good stuff. And then we got November.
Like my job.
Yeah, no doubt. No. Nice job to have. And then November we start getting into the two-part game, right? Dead Legends.
We do the Texas game. And
then we go that's like just before World Cup. So it's gonna be an interesting couple weeks for me.
Yeah, you're probably coming by us and then just cutting across. So and we'll see you at both because now that we live down here, we'll be at both with you. Maybe even do a Disney day with you. That might be a thing.
Yeah, well, that's definitely
Disney, you had them all.
That Star Wars one was cool.
I haven't been back to the Star Wars since the first time. Well, was it not this last year when we went? The year before we did the Star Wars. And it was really cool, but we were just able to do the Smuggler's Run one. We weren't able to do the other one, the big one.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's, and the thing is that you've got all the new Toy Story stuff. You've got the new Star Wars stuff. Hollywood Studios is just a busy ass freaking place right now. You know what I mean?
We just went a few weeks ago because Duncan was down.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's still shut down from COVID. Like they're not every aspect of the parks are open.
Not all the dining and stuff was open, but it was nice the amount of people that were there. It was really, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, there's nobody here. I'm not hitting anybody in the face.
Yeah, there's actually that part's real cool. So we'll be doing that game in Texas. Then we'll all be around for Cup and do that, and then is the San Diego game the second half, and then just 2 weeks later, we're going back to Hawaii, man.
Oh,
I'm just saying the way it's trending right now, there shouldn't be no reason we can't go. The only reason we're postponed it this year is because the COVID rules out there were too strict to put on anybody. You had to test negative within 72 hours to get on the plane, and then you still had to quarantine when you got there anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't ask anybody to do that. So hopefully this gets settled down with the vaccinations or herd immunity or whatever we need to get to. But that's my goal, to get everybody back there. I know you miss them all too, all our Hawaiian
Dude,
families.
Maui is such a freaking place, man. I mean, I slept on 5 different beaches.
Reggie, hold up.
road-
Hawaii, when?
That's in February over Valentine's Day weekend, or the closest weekend to Valentine's Day.
Like the road to Hana, there were all these paths off of everything. And at the time when we were there, it was just after a big rain. So we couldn't do a bunch of stuff, but we weren't prepped to do a bunch of stuff like that. Next time we go back, I mean, you're going to do the road to Hana again? I was like, if I do it again, there's like all kinds of other stuff I want to see on it. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's a freaking cool island. It was a cool island. We
rented motorcycles and did the road to Hana last time. Which was scary as hell. I'm not doing that again. Yeah,
one side of the island is dry. One side of the island is dry as can be, and the other side of the island is wet as can be.
Yep.
It because of the mountains. It just I guess the stuff. Whatever. I'm not a meteorologist.
There's so much you can do there. We went spearfishing one year. The condo we stayed at, we went swimming with turtles.
The turtles right outside
out our beach. I mean, literally right there. And we had that excellent condo. Oh my God, that was fantastic.
That place is gorgeous. That place, very nice. You know, it was a very cool place to visit. I was surprised with all the chickens everywhere.
Yeah,
they're just like
Key West, so that's not too weird.
Yeah, it's
they're
just
everywhere.
it's up here. You don't have stuff like that,
right?
But anyways, the story is one year a couple chickens got. Well, they're everywhere. I mean, they're not like they're bothering you. They're not. They want to do nothing. They're like cats. They just want to get the fuck away from you.
Yeah.
You see them. Oh crap, I'm gone.
Yeah. Clint, the owner, is awesome. Yeah. Jessica and Chris and Warren, like the whole crew there, John and his great wife. John's the great guy. He messaged me when we first came out there, and he's like, "So I've got this paintball claymore. Can I use it in the game?" I'm like, "Geez." And he's just rattling off all these different booby traps he's got. So he actually ended up reffing the game. But still, I allowed him each morning to go out and set a bunch of these booby traps all around the field so they could go off randomly throughout the day. And you just hear pop and something would smoke, and you hear just pop, 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 all these balls hitting somebody. And you just hear John start giggling. Like, oh, this is awesome. These guys are twisted as bad as we are. This is great.
They've got some cool catwalks and stuff up above the playing area in there and stuff. They're really cool to play.
Tree forts that all interconnect. It's amazing.
It'd
be a legit field. I try to tell people all the time, it would be a legit field that you would trek to on the mainland. If it existed on the mainland, you would be able to go there and you'd be excited about going there. And it just so happens to be, it's right across the street from the ocean on the southern side of Maui. And it's gorgeous.
Yeah, definitely gorgeous. Definitely something to check out and do. All right, guys, definitely, as you can see the band down below, check out our social media, Mad Frog Militia. Check out Mad Frog Militia on YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff, Instagram. I think I'm going to take over the TikTok for this trip to Super Game, guys. I do not know how to use it at all. So I've got the login and stuff, and we'll see what kind of stupid stuff. I don't know if you can get like a minus likes on TikTok or however it works, but
this is where you got to have Dill filming Bill trying to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the old guy trying to be, tech savvy.
The problem's going to be it's going to be me, Shelly, and the dog. That's it. So this is going to be a nice trip for us to Super Game because it's just me, Shelly, and the dog. So we're either going to survive happy as can be, or she's going to want to kill me. I'll have the dog to keep me company. Anyways,
she's taking the dog.
Yeah, this is true. So I'm looking forward to this. We're actually going to hit Astoria on the way. We're going to hit that first and do the whole Goonies tour and hit the jail and the houses and was it Haystack or Rock?
Haystack Rocks.
Yep. So
we got a little something that we're planning on going out for a trip out there at some point to do that. Apparently, the owners of the house not real friendly.
No, they're
kind of over the Goonies thing.
Yeah, there's a sign that's put out when it's okay to visit.
Yeah,
kind of thing, you know. And I think it's just a matter of that they kind of get fed up with certain type of people. I mean, you know, if I were able to do it and they had a line drawn and said, "Hey, don't pass this," and I could go up and get a selfie, I'd be one of those guys and be, you know, and walking away like, "Oh, I don't want to bug them, but okay, bye, see you." You know, I'm sorry, you know. But we'll see what happens. And the nice thing is we're taking the van, so I don't have to fit a bus anywhere. I don't have a trailer behind me this time. So it's going to be interesting. We're gonna try to have ourselves some fun with this trip that I haven't packed for yet.
You don't want to do that.
You kind of need to do that.
Here's sorry, yeah, Kill Bill soundtrack. That's my son calling me probably because something happened. We'll get that figured out. But well, you know, we've been going over an hour here. We got some teasers here from our Tombstone stuff that Dill's got to show to you. We'll get those up here. Hey, Aaron, you want to play those over top of us, or you want to play those after after we're done?
It doesn't matter, whichever one you want to do.
Okay, well, we'll play it after we're done. We'll say goodbye, and then you can play it like that. Like everybody knows, that's the voice of Aaron Dill from AD Media. He's the one that helps us out with all our social media stuff and puts together the cool videos and stuff for us. Kind of a collaboration of all of us getting stuff together. So I thanks Honu for joining us. Everybody join us for Living Legends. Hopefully this answered some questions. If you've got more, you can find the Facebook group for Living Legends on Facebook.
Register for the blue side.
There you go. And ask your questions away. There's a big group of people that are out there that'll answer away if it's not Honu answering himself.
Yeah, there's a lot of longtime Legends veterans that'll walk you through just about anything you need, and you can always PM me through there or directly to my page. You know, it's my favorite thing to talk about, so hit me up anytime you want.
And this is going to be the first time it's at Black Ops Paintball, but man, Black Ops Paintball is not a field to miss. You need to check out this field and come play. And what better time? If you can't make it during Bones and Ashes, come make it for Living Legends. This is a good field and a good way for us to continue on with Living Legends without having to stall it again for another year. You know what I mean?
We didn't trade down in any sort of way, not being able to go to Legacy. I mean, we love the Legacy guys. They took great care of us, but you know, this is not a negative thing. It just proof in the pudding that we went from a 300 player game at Bones the first year to an 800 player game by year 4. You know, the word's out. People go home and tell 2 friends, and here we are.
Yeah. Reggie, I will see you next week at Super Game. See, that's another thing. I get to see my West Coast boys and girls that I don't get to see all the time. And like I said, I get to run with the Renegades, so I don't have to think. I just have to hit, just shoot, you know.
Reggie's awesome.
Reggie's good times. We got Reggie, Raleigh, Maldonado, probably. Oh no, wait, no, Michael's not making it this time. Darn it. No. No, he's not making it to Legends. He's probably still making it to Super Game. He'll still
be out there.
Game. Yeah,
Mary will be out there.
Mary will be out there from Washington. Yeah, so we're gonna have some fun out at Super Game. So follow our TikTok and our Instagram, and either I'll be sending videos to Aaron, and Aaron will be posting them on Instagram and TikTok, or I'll figure something out. You know, problem is I like to drive so much. I don't stop. I like to just, especially when you get someplace and the speed limit says 80 miles an hour.
South Dakota's cool like that.
Yeah, just wow. It's like I'm not getting a ticket. Let's go. So everybody, thanks for joining us. Join us at Living Legends coming up here. Oh, it's gonna be some fun. Thanks for joining us on the show. Big Country Preacher. Honu, thanks for joining us, and thanks for everybody who hung out and listened to, because I know you got a lot of better things to do than to listen to us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go put a 22-inch QR code on the side of the van before the sun goes down. It's a multicolor QR code. Thanks a lot for the idea, Dill. I don't know why I listened to you, because, man, it has been a bitch to pick. Those that have picked vinyl knows exactly what I'm talking about. Little circles and dashes and different colors. And
yeah,
what did
my wife loves doing the picking.
Yeah, but this is too big. That, and when I started halfway through, I realized I had the pressure set for something else. So half of the first one I did was a pain in the butt because it didn't cut through all the way. But anyways, so guys and girls and everybody, thanks for joining us. And Mr. Aaron Dill will run us through some Tombstone videos. And I think we've got a little bit of a snippet from one of our gross drink challenges from our road trip on the way home from that. We stopped at the Redmond Can Factory, and it's like the largest gift shop or whatever in Oklahoma, I believe. And they sell these gross drinks. So we had like 12 or 13 different gross drinks that we tried out. Man, there's one or two of them on our TikTok right now already, but we hit a stall because somebody didn't get the video to somebody else. I don't know. Oops. But anyways, we're fixing that. We've got a system now. It works. It's just it takes so long to download videos. I'm downloading from the camera, then I'm downloading it to him, and so we got a system now. We're just going to use the shit out of the mail and USB sticks, and it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work, damn it. All right. Anyhow, thanks a lot, everybody. And Aaron, run the end credits. Thanks, guys.
Hang loose, guys.
All I can smell is that damn chocolate.
You volunteered.
Just take it. Stop being a baby.
You got it. Oh, he's swishing it.
Oh, yes, dude. Oh, he wanted to get the taste.
He went back.
I would have slammed it all in one shot.
Oh!
Percolator.
So gross. What does it taste like?
Asshole.
That maple comes out.
Oh, maple. And I only did a splash of it.
Oh, you should
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? Tony from Lone Wolf Paintball. Check us out online or in store. LoneWolfPaintball.com.